Hello everyone, Duke here, and this is a video about Arelith. What is Arelith? Arelith is a Neverwinter Nights server, and this is Neverwinter Nights 1, by the way. And it's mostly a persistent world, much like an MMO, but it has some limitations, some of which are good, some of which are bad, maybe. But mostly it's a smaller server. So it has well, it's pretty large in terms of Neverwinter Nights, but it's got a smaller player base compared to your average MMO RPG. Now, the server is very much roleplay heavy, and here it is. It's split between 3 servers, mostly because they needed more space for players, and before it was only 2 servers, Surface and Underdark. Now we have Corridor as well, which is pretty much the same as Surface. Some of the I don't know if Underdark is mostly the if you don't know Dungeons and Dragons at all, it's just the underground world of dark elves and dark dwarves and ogres and goblins and kobolds and all sorts of evil creatures. And you can play a monster race, but mostly I stick to the Surface. I'm more immersed when I play on the Surface. But let's just hop in. The starting server is Corridor if you start on the Surface, and if you start on, well, Underdark is Underdark, so mostly evil races start over there. But you can be an evil Surface character, so it's no big deal. Anyway, here we have my character list. We're going to make a new one, just for the sake of it, and for the sake of this video, I mean. Here are the races available in normal Neverwinter Nights. You also get access to sub-races in the server, but you don't have to fill in this at all. You're prompted with a question about your sub-race in the after the initial character creation, which you do here when you first time log into the server. You are asked some specific questions about your character. Now we're going to make an elf, because I think that allows me to show you just the sub-races and also some other leads stuff. Pick a portrait, customize your character however you like. This is going to take a while because I have a certain pack that allows me to have millions of them. Millions and billions. We're going to look like that for now though. And then we are going to take we're going to pick a ranger. In fact, let's just show you all the classes. These are the usual base classes in Neverwinter Nights. If you're not aware of them all, these are base classes that you can select, and these are prestige classes that you can select after filling certain requirements. So, but these are Neverwinter Nights specifics, and we're not going to go into that too much. I'm going to expect you to know at least something about Neverwinter Nights before it's not required, but it's just I don't want to just spend time explaining what strength does and what dexterity does and whatnot. So just to save time, I'm going to stick with Arelith specific thingamajigs. So, and we're going to look like him. There we go. We're going to be called, I don't know, for the sake of this video I could just call him Duke. And why I've deleted this bit, like you may have noticed actually. Cancel, customize, okay. As you can see here, you've got Wanderlust has recently lured you to enter human lands against your family's advice, yada yada yada. So it basically explains a sort of background explanation for you as a player But because we're playing online, you want this to show, like this shows up every time someone examines you. So instead of explaining your family heritage or whatnot on this, and especially addressing people in an odd manner, like the reader, it's better to have something like, this elf has pointy ears, sort of thing, and big blue eyes. That explains the character. It describes the character better than. What happened to my voice just then? Weird. It explains your character. Describes your character better than Neverwinter Nights engine allows. So you get a more detailed description, like blue eyes. It doesn't really show in the actual character model that he has blue eyes, so it's a nice touch. Obviously this is very simple, a very simple sentence, so you can customize it later in game as well, so it's not a big deal. Most servers that are roleplay servers as well, you have to do your description once during the character creation, and then you can change it at all later on. But Arelith has some neat stuff in it that allows you to change it later. So we're going to be called Caloril because we don't want to be called Duke. And this is a voice set. I've got some monster voice sets here as well. You can pick whatever fancies you. I'm going to pick one that doesn't actually say anything. So we're going to be mute. Well, not really. I like to write my responses rather than use whatever the game supplies you, because it usually sounds off. I mean, the voice may be right, but usually the tone of voice is completely off compared to the situation. So it's like, you know, when your character says yes, it sounds like yes, or yes, or whatever. Anyway, let's get in game. I've prattled on long enough. Arelith entry. Now then. Loading, yes. Level up. You start off as, well, we'll get to that in a minute. So here we have our sub-races. Because I didn't pick the evil alignment, I picked good instead. That is why I cannot pick a drow dark elf type. These are mostly... Hang on, this is a default elf, so it doesn't really make any difference. You can see the favorite class. That's about all it affects, is the favorite class. And they have different backstories and different descriptions. It's mostly just for roleplay and playing your character. We may pick this because we're a ranger, so we're going to be a wood elf. Why not? So we're going to select that one. Now, this is... because it's a roleplay server, and normally in Neverwinter Nights there's very little, like, how should I explain it? Basically, roleplay is what you do to have fun, and it's not really rewarded as such normally. And you'd have to go out and kill monsters to gain levels and experience and such. But because it's a roleplay server, they've got this inbuilt system that grants small experience bonuses just according to your roleplay level, so to speak. New characters start off with 10 roleplay rating, and that rating goes up or down based on how well you've been roleplaying and how much the dungeon masters have liked what they've seen or disliked. So what is a mark of destiny then? Mark of Destiny, if you haven't read this already, is what gives you a bonus experience on top of that roleplay experience that you get. But the catch is that you only have 10 lives, and after that your character will be deleted. So it's a risk-reward type thing. I've never had my characters die off of it, even though they've lost some lives. They usually I've just stopped playing the characters themselves by the time it's never been an issue. So, but it all depends on your play style. If you go out and adventure a lot, then this taking a Mark of Destiny might be a bad idea. But if you're like me, who doesn't really like grinding, and I've seen most of the areas so many times that it's just a chore to kill monsters all the time, as in all MMOs, then you might want to pick one. This to level up faster through roleplay, i.e. doing virtually nothing except chit-chatting with other players and telling a story. Now, gifts. These, previously you got stats increases and all sorts of alteration through your sub-race, i.e. the Wood Elf, would have given me some dexterity or strength, and perhaps I would have lost some constitution or wisdom. I don't know. But they've replaced this system with another called the gifts, and a character may have up to 3 different gifts. So for instance, I could take a gift of grace, which gives me 2 dexterity, or I could get hardiness, which gives me resistance to fire, cold, electric and acid. All these gifts raise your effective character level, which is this ECL right here, +1 or +half, or a +2, or in some cases -2. We'll get to that later. What effective character level does is, again, if you've read this, then you know already. It's basically, it just slows down your leveling, because according to your stats, you're a higher level character than you actually are. So all these amount to getting to, like, normally you get 1 strength or one stat every 4 levels. So getting 2 stats at level 1, like 2 extra stats, or you can get multiple stats up to 6, and that just raises your character level and power. So in terms of power, so that's why they sort of scale you up or down based on what choices you make. For instance, if you take humility, you lose -2 in all stats, so I'd lose -2 strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, and wisdom and charisma. So that would make me 2 levels lower than I usually am, and I would gain more experience. Then there are small perks such as stats perks like hide and whatever. These are special skills that are normally reserved to, like, Gift of the Unholy is normally a cleric ability to consecrate altars. So you'd have to have cleric levels in order to consecrate altars. What does altar consecration mean? I have no idea, actually, other than it affects the power of a deity, I guess. So, in-depth stuff. I realize there's quite a lot to talk about now that I've started all this, so this may be a long video. God damn. But yeah, gifts. You can pick crafting points. There's a special crafting system that allows you to create all sorts of armor, weapons, or accessories that you can wear in your inventory. So, and also one that I specifically wanted to point out is that the gift of tongues allows you to learn languages faster. I might as well take that. And hiding, why not? And then we'll take wealth because I want a lot of gold for starters. Now, gift of wealth is like having a background of being a very rich person. It doesn't really fit, I guess, being a wood elf and having tons of money, but I'm just going to do it to present the character like it's. I most likely won't be playing this anyway. So, backgrounds. Backgrounds are further customizations to your character. These are very small bonuses, like if you're a hunter, you get move silently, craft trap, and you get a penalty to law. Or you could be a fisherman, and you would get a fishing pole at start. Not exactly amazing. So you get forging skill better if you're a soldier and that sort of thing. Yeah, we'll be a hunter. Why not? Now then, these are paths, and actually, here are the available paths. Paths are sort of subclasses, I suppose. You can select a path that alters the way your class works. For instance, if I had been a bard, I could have been a warlock, and a warlock gives away his singing ability in order to do magic. He basically gains Eldritch Blast powers and such. Druids get, as you know, druids have a shapeshift ability. So a totem druid can, in exchange for losing some stats, some physical stats, strength, dexterity, and constitution, he can increase the power of those his chosen totem shape. So he can be a bear that is a super bear, or he can be a wolf, or he can be a bat. And usually these come with all sorts of different special abilities. For instance, that carry over when you're not, even when you're not in shape. So, for instance, a bat would get true seeing, I believe. So he can basically see everyone because of his sonar spotting ability. I guess that's the realistic explanation for it. Then we have Kensai. Kensai is a melee fighter who may not use ranged weapons at all, or any magic. And this also includes magical items like potions. So he'd be very much dependent on healing kits for his in order to heal himself, whereas others may be able to use potions and so on. But in exchange he gets permanent haste and some discipline. So I don't know if it's a worthy trade-off or not, but there it is. True Fire. This is a sorcerer path that allows the sorcerer to cast evocation spells as many times as he likes. He does not have to rest at all in order to get more charges per day. So this is very different to how normal Neverwinter Nights works, because normally Neverwinter Nights you cast a couple of spells and then you rest, and this is very much, I suppose, D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. Baldur's Gate does this. So everything, all that goes away, but it only counts for a specific school, which is evocation. So only evocation spells work like that, Others, like transmutation, you would have to rest again to cast. Hang on. No. Sorry about that. He cannot cast any spells other than evocation spells. So you'd limit your choice of spells to mostly damage dealing spells rather than disabling spells or buffs and so on. Steroids. Archer. Archer, we actually can pick Archer, the path of the Archer. Archer makes you lose your... These are ranger specific, Archer and Sniper. Archer gains the ability to create arrows according to his level, so they increase in power, the arrows, I mean. Better arrows the higher level you are. And once per day, so you don't have to have the trouble of crafting them and wasting time and resources and so on. You can just make them, create them magically, I suppose. And in exchange you give away your dual wield feat, which allows the ranger to use 2 weapons at once at level 1 without penalty. And then Sniper loses the same feat, but instead he gains Rabbit Shot at level 1 and Mobility at level 9. Sorry, he also gains Point Blank Shot along with Rabbit Shot. So, Healer. Healer is, I don't know, I guess it's a cleric path. It allows you to gain Raise Dead 3 times per day, Cure Critical Wounds 5 times per day, but you can never you can never use armor or weapons other than simple weapons. So you'll be a sort of support character, I suppose. We'll pick Sniper, why not? Even though I already picked Point Blank Shot, so I won't be gaining as much out of Sniper as I normally would if I had picked something else. Because as a Sniper I gain Point Blank Shot anyway, so it doesn't really help. I guess I could take Archer instead. So there we go. Now all the changes are applied. I've lost my dual wield feat. There it is, it's gone. And some of my... What did I take? I think I took... I actually have no idea what my stats were before, so I think I took Dexterity or something. But I've got a bunch of gold and so on and so forth. I think that's it. Oh yeah, innate ability. This is the ability that I chose. You can... these are the ones I chose, so I took Gift of Languages, which allows me to learn languages faster. Gift of Hiding, cast invisibility once per day, and Gift of Wealth. And all these amount to +2 effective character level, so my effective character level in terms of power is 3, apparently. Let's use our invisibility. There we go, we're invisible. Doesn't last very long because we're level 1. So, that was the introduction to Arelith. A very, very long one. I didn't expect it to go this long, so there will be other videos explaining other stuff that I want to tell you about. And the reason I'm doing all this is because I think Arelith is a great server, and many people may think that Neverwinter Nights is long gone, but people still play it. And if you have an interest in role-playing, specifically role-playing, this is a very good server to at least give it a go. In my opinion, they do things very well, and it's very much player-driven. If you have a story that you want to tell, like a character that you'd want to experience a new world with, sort of get immersed in a new world, then this is the place for you, and I heartily recommend it. So, without further ado, I shall be leaving, and you may see me another time on another video. Hooray, as usual. Goodbye.